Welcome to today's deep dive. We've got this massive stack of medical journals and firsthand accounts in front of us.
Yeah, and some fascinating sociological case studies, too.
Right. And our mission today for you listening is to really decode what we're calling the invisible crisis. We're looking at the immense physical and psychological toll of living with conditions that society simply cannot see.
Because our social programming is, well, it's heavily biased toward the visible. If you snap your shin bone, the script triggers immediately.
Oh, yeah, you get a cast, your friends bring you casseroles, they clean your house.
People just instinctively accommodate you. But the sources highlight how completely that script vanishes when the struggle is internal.
It really does. And one of the most striking examples in the research is ARFID, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder.
Right.
And for those of you who haven't followed the latest literature, this isn't, it's not just picky eating.
Not at all.
This is a severe condition where the brain's threat response system literally misinterprets the sensory input of certain foods. So a specific texture registers as an actual biological danger.
Which is terrifying to experience.
Right.
But society just expects someone with ARFID to sit at a restaurant and eat like, nothing is happening.
Exactly. It forces them to constantly mask their reality. They're navigating this blaring biological alarm system while trying to, maintain polite dinner conversation.
Yeah, the effort is staggering.
It makes me think of driving a car where the parking brake is jammed, but the dashboard looks totally fine.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Like the engine is screaming, you're burning through fuel, but the people in the cars next to you just think you're choosing to drive 10 miles an hour. They can't see the mechanical friction.
Right, and that friction is exactly what the research calls the 10x paradox.
The 10x paradox.
Yeah. An individual might be exerting 10 times the physiological and cognitive effort of a healthy person just to accomplish a baseline task. Something as simple as drinking a glass of water or getting out of bed.
Just drinking water. But the wild part is, despite burning all that fuel, the sources show these individuals rarely feel accomplished. In fact, the prevailing emotion is guilt.
Guilt or feeling incredibly lazy.
Which is crazy. Why is the human brain rewarding massive exertion with guilt?
Well, because we map our self-worth using external feedback loops.
Okay, right.
If you're exhausted, but there's no cast on your leg and no one is acknowledging your effort, your brain looks for a logical explanation. Without external validation, you just default to self-blame.
So you start gaslighting yourself, thinking everyone else is drinking water effortlessly, so my exhaustion must just be a character flaw.
Exactly. You're stuck in this loop of massive effort and zero validation.
So how do people even survive that psychological disconnect? According to the personal accounts we read, it comes down to gallows humor.
Yeah, dark comedy.
Finding the humor in the sheer objective absurdity of a grown adult being brought to their knees by the texture of a cracker. Or, an unsafe living situation like a single mouse in an apartment.
It serves as a necessary release valve. When your internal reality is that deeply mismatched with societal expectations, pointing out the ridiculousness of the situation keeps you from completely losing your grip.
I get that the humor makes sense for daily survival, but looking at this one case study from Copenhagen, I'm genuinely struggling to see the comedy.
Oh, the ICD-11 situation, yeah.
Right. The sources describe a scenario where someone in a highly developed city is literally facing starvation because of a computer code.
It's mind-boggling.
The new diagnostic manual recognizes their specific condition, but the local hospital's bureaucratic software hasn't been updated to accept those codes yet. I mean, is this just gallows humor, or is this a glaring red flag highlighting a total systemic failure?
Oh, it's systemic failure, absolutely. The mechanics of it are terrifying. In state-run or insurance-based healthcare, physical care like nutritional supplements or feeding tubes is legally tethered to a standardized billing code.
So if the computer rejects the code,
The bureaucracy paralyzes the medical staff. They literally cannot dispatch the resources.
that is just wild to me. The system essentially decides that because the software hasn't run its latest update, your physical starvation technically doesn't exist.
It reveals how fragile our safety nets really are. True medical care shouldn't require a diagnostic receipt from a lagging database.
No, it really shouldn't. The gallows humor isn't just a coping mechanism for the patient. It's a mirror held up to a completely broken, automated system.
Exactly.
These invisible crises demand monumental daily effort from the people living through them, and they deserve the exact same grace we readily hand out for a broken bone.
100%. We need to rethink how we validate suffering.
Yeah, and as you go into your week, think about this. We are currently training the next generation of artificial intelligence and algorithmic healthcare models using these exact same diagnostic databases.
Right.
If our current systems already demand visible proof and rigid codes to dispense basic human empathy, what happens when we fully automate that blindness?